Now, the families and officials have now released the names of those 8 individuals. And as we continue to learn more exactly about what happened at the Allen Premium Outlets Mall. Now, here are the names of those that have been released. We have Daniela Mendoza, 11 years old, Sofia Mendoza, 8, Cindy Cho, 35, Kai Cho, 37, James Cho, 3, Christian Lacour, 2, Ashwari Bakonda, 26, Elio Kumana Rivas, 32. That's right, you saw a number of children in that. Those are the lives that were taken on Saturday. And as we continue to learn more about the victims, well, CBS released 7 out of 8 of the photos of the individuals who we just named. And here they are. And many of the victims were children, that's right. And also some of them were parents and included their parents, including the Cho family. Their older son, a 6-year-old, was wounded in the shooting but survived. But he has now lost his mother, his father, and his brother. He is alone now in this world because of the monstrous acts of one individual. And several of the victims who were injured still do remain in the hospital, and their lives are forever changed. Now, the individual who has been identified as the shooter is 33-year-old Mauricio Garcia. And investigators are continuing to look into his history, and it appears to be riddled with violent ideology. The Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism says social media posts indicate that he was obsessed with violence and embraced misogynistic, anti-Semitic, and white supremacist ideology, sporting large SS and Nazi tattoos. Posts he made on a Russian social media network also suggest he had been researching the mall and planning the attack for weeks. And among information about the shooter circulating was the detail of him wearing a right-wing death squad patch, which we showed you yesterday. And so as these authorities continue to discover new information about the gunman, many people are still grappling with what happened at the mall and how a mass shooting, how it could possibly happen there. And including one person named Steven Spainhour. He is an ex-police officer and also a US Army officer. Steven Spainhour described rushing to the shopping center after his son called him saying he had heard gunfire. He arrived before emergency responders and performed CPR on some of those who had been felled by bullets. Spainhour is now passionately arguing in favor of meaningful gun control. Take a listen.
I don't know what the gunman's problem was. I don't know his motive, but it wasn't mental health that killed these people. It was an automatic rifle with bullets. That's what killed them. I'm a gun lover. I have guns. I'm a former police officer. I'm a former Army officer. But these M4s and AR-15s, they've got to get off the streets or this is going to keep happening. And we've got to stop that at some point. It could be you. It could be your family member. I never imagined it would be me. I never imagined it would happen in my community, but it did. And we've got to stop this type of carnage.
We've got to stop. That's exactly right. The thought that this is mental health is so far from accurate. Mental health issues are all over the world. They're global, yet we're the only ones having these mass shootings. That should probably tell you it is the guns. And also some jarring reality that Spainhour faced when he went there to help save lives. Well, he recounted the horrors that he first saw firsthand. The first girl I walked up to was crouched down, covering her head in the bushes. So I felt for a pulse, pulled her head to the side, and she had no face. That's a realistic look at what these assault weapons can do to someone, to pretty much take off their face and to kill in mass. It's something that does not need to be in the hands of civilians. And the thought that our nation will continue to allow this to happen, even though it's taking the lives of children, of adults, of parents, needlessly, it's incredibly disgusting. David.
Well, look, I mean, even if I were to accept Republicans and people who the gun lobby that says, oh, there's evil in our midst and there's nothing we can do about evil in our midst and there's nothing we can do about people with mental health. And let's just, for argument's sake, let's suppose there's nothing we can do to stop all people with mental health problems or all evil, but we can at least increase our chances of surviving when they decide to go on a carnage. I would much rather have somebody who's evil or with a mental health problem try to shoot up with a revolver or a baseball bat or a knife than an AR-15. And maybe they do kill 1 or 2 people, and that would be 2 people too many, but it wouldn't be 8, it wouldn't be 10, it wouldn't be 20 like you saw at here in Connecticut at Sandy Hook. I mean, it goes on and on. At a certain point, people got to realize it's not about trying to catch people with mental health. It's not about trying to stamp out evil. It's about trying to take away their opportunity to inflict maximum damage. And we cannot have this go on and on. And I think there was something of a turning point this weekend, Adrienne, because the pictures were so graphic and they were immediately available all over the internet. And I think when people see what violence is really inflicted by these AR-15s, and then you hear these stories about the damage that's inflicted, I think people are just so grossed out and sickened. This is gruesome stuff. Enough already. People are like, even if I support guns, get rid of the AR-15s, ban them as we did during the Clinton administration, and mass shootings went down for 10 years. This isn't difficult stuff.
No, it's not. And the thing is that you cannot say that you need these AR-15s under the Second Amendment, which again, I've always said, and many have said, is completely bastardized. But the thing is, it's like it's thought of, oh, well, I'm a hunter, I need guns. You cannot hunt with an AR-15 because of the amount of damage it does to an animal carcass. So why do you need this when there are plenty of other guns that are out there that can be in your possession? And something super interesting that I saw yesterday, which is actually extremely disappointing, is the FBI's training video for mass shootings for civilians, basically. I posted it on my Instagram page. You can check it out. It's at Adrienne Lawrence is my Instagram handle. But the fact is that the training that the FBI provides, the video that they show, has the person with maybe a Glock. And someone responded and said, I would love to see what the training guide is for when the person is operating with an AR-15. And I responded, there isn't a training, it's just showing a coroner on the screen. Because that is the reality, and we just saw that in Allen, Texas.